Okay, so Tim is upset that we didn't already have the stream going when he walked in.
You ruined everything.
I ruined everything, Tim. Because I never ready when you walked in. But anyway, brought some cool new stuff for us today. We got some StarCraft gameplay to talk about, and you and your fancy plaid checkered shirt.
Sure, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah, look at you. All right. Well, welcome to the GITV Live Show. It is April 19th, 2016. I've got some cool stuff to talk to you about, mainly Krytac's new releases coming up, as well as, obviously, some StarCraft 2 gameplay. Tim and I have, we've battled before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I was victorious.
Oh, no. Okay, there's an asterisk right there. So
But I was victorious with an asterisk.
All right, let me just preface everything so everyone knows what's going on. Basically, I think it was like a year or two ago, your ego got the best of you and you said, Bob, I'll bet I could beat you.
My ego didn't get the best of me. I beat you best out of three.
Asterisk. Tim said, like, Bob, I will beat you.
That's like you saying that
Let me
Rebel
just tell
forces,
them.
my Rebel forces
No,
were not
no.
as successful as my elite.
What he says is like my team didn't succeed as much as your team. Yeah. So what happened the first time we played Tim versus Bob StarCraft is that Tim said, hey, Bob, I bet you were so bad that I could beat you, having never played StarCraft 2 with the new units, and again, still beat you since you've played for a while. So we went and played last year.
This was before any expansions. It was the first StarCraft?
Yeah, this was Wings of Liberty.
First StarCraft 2.
So we played, and the stipulations were that Gene, whose house you were playing at, could not help you in any way, shape, or form, because that's how you said. You said you could be without any help and beat me. Now, the first game...
Without any practice, too.
Without any practice. The first game, I beat you hands down. The second game, I had you on the ropes, and Gene gave you one huge piece of intel or advice that ended up giving you the win for the game. Do you want to describe that?
Sure. Gene says Bob's in your base and you're pretty much dead, so just sacrifice yourself.
No, he said you might as well just throw everything you have at his base. And you're like, oh yeah, maybe I will.
The reason he said that is because you were walled off, Bob.
Which I always do.
Your defense was supposed to thwart anything because it has a really narrow ramp. I was just like, I right click, attack, and boom, or just.
Okay, now I thought my defense would.
And go.
I thought my defense would hold until I had smashed your base to smithereens, and then probably about like 10 seconds into your attack on my base, I was like, this ain't gonna hold. So I
wasn't even expecting my units to get through at all, and I literally clicked on my units, attack, send, and I was like, well, this game's over. And I was like, shoot. And then like a few seconds later, I see the green on my minimap like funneling into your base, and I was like, oh,
they broke it through.
And then I started playing again. And started, concentrate fire over here.
So the second game, if Gene hadn't said anything, you would have just kind of sat there with your thumb up your butt and had lost. So you won the second game with the asterisk. Now the third game, you flat out won. I can't deny that. You beat me.
It only took me 2 games.
So whatever. So Tim versus Bob.
This shouldn't happen though. Is the point I was making, Bob? Is that you own the game? It shouldn't have even been close. Okay. Let me flip this around, Bob. Let's say in 10 years from now, you come to me.
Years.
Whatever, 35 freaking years from now. You go to me, Tim, I bet you I could beat you in basketball, even had never played before. That would not happen at all. You would not even come close.
You still have the fundamentals. Like, you're still a much better basketball player than me, like, hands down. Like,
because I've been playing the game. You've been playing StarCraft. This should not even come close.
No, whatever. Look, I'm not the best StarCraft player by any means. I think, like, Vince is the manager of our walk-in store. He and I are on the same level. Actually, the only reason I usually beat him is because Frank, who works at GI, actually gives me tips, dirty tricks that I've used on Vince to actually beat him. However, there are a lot of other friends that we share that are better than us.
Chat, so I want to see what people are saying about this.
Okay.
This is more than just a conversation about you and I.
Okay, yeah. Well, I doubt any of them are talking about.
We need to put that screen here so that we can see the comments.
Well, it's hard. The screen is over there. I can't just pick it up and move it right here. So, regardless, we have Tim versus Bob StarCraft Game 1 queued up for you guys today, so you can check it out. And we actually have commentary from myself, you, and Gene.
How much of the game did you put?
I literally put the entire first game.
Oh, jeez, that's like 7.5 minutes.
Well, we're not going to get all the way through it. We're just going to get up to the key points. But yeah, I couldn't get Game 2 up here quickly enough because actually my StarCraft 2 account got hacked. Huh? Yeah, I got it fixed last night.
Huh.
Yeah, I got phished, and if any of you are familiar with phishing, they got my info, and I contacted Blizzard, and they're actually nice enough to unscrew up my account for me.
Unscrew it up.
Yeah, that's not the usual term I use.
Jeez.
Now, so we're going to get to the StarCraft 2 game in a little bit, probably about like 5 minutes. But right now I want to talk about the new release from Krytac.
Yes. So you've had a chance to kind of mess around with these guns a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put that one there. And we have another gun right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a nutshell, Bob, this is the Krytac Alpha series.
Yes.
So this is the budget-friendly version of the Krytac. So this is like 90% of what the current Trident series is, but you're going to be saving a lot of money by us changing a couple of the things internally. So externally, Bob, you can see that it's virtually the same thing as a Trident. We have a full metal construction. We have a modular handguard. Now this one's not key mod, but it's actually a little less confusing because the rail segments just screw directly into it.
Yeah, it's not key mod or M-lock. You can basically take off, I believe it's the outer nut on the key mod and screw it directly, the rail panel directly into this rail.
Yeah, so for those of you that are familiar with key mod, it's obviously a rail section with a screw through it, and there's like a little boot at the bottom of it that hooks underneath the key mod rail, and then once you torque down your screw, that's what the boot kind of lifts up on the key mod section. That's what gives you that tension to keep the rail onto the handguard, but you just remove that little boot and the screws screw directly into here, so it kind of eliminates a step.
Well played.
Yeah, a lot simpler. So externally, not very much different between this and the current Trident CRB. The handguard is a little bit different, like I mentioned, and at the complete other end of the gun, we have a different butt pad on here.
Slightly slimmer.
It's slightly slimmer. This is actually the butt pad that goes on our Vector, so this is kind of like our firearms butt pad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it doesn't, we don't need a battery for real guns, and so we just threw that on here. If you wanted to get the extended butt pad that's on the AEGs to give yourself that additional battery storage, that is an option that you can do when you buy that off of our website. Now, internally, like I said, most of this gun is still very much the same. We still have the same MOSFET, the same gears, the same piston, and the padded cylinder head that kind of pushes your AOE back to give you a little bit better contact between your gear and your piston. Still have the same rotary hop-up in here that you guys know and love. The key differences, though, is that this gun is tuned to shoot at 1 joule, or about under 300 FPS with a .20 gram BB. And in order to do that, we changed the cylinder, spring, and the motor. But you still get really good performance as far as rate of fire goes out of here. We're still looking at 20 plus with an 11.1 LiPo.
Now, a key factor here for me, as I'm sure a lot of other airsoft players out there, is price. These are going to be $50 more affordable compared to the original Trident models.
Quite a bit more than that, actually.
Oh,
so
really?
The SDP is going to be $255.
Yes.
Okay, and then this Alpha CRB is $275.
Yeah, that's $50 cheaper. The CRB regular is $325. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Bob, you can master it.
Yeah, I got it there first. So really cool. And so for those of you that are just, slightly priced out of, a full version, a full Trident CRB, this is going to give you the flexibility to get that. And if, afterwards, if you want to do some upgrade work on it, you're going to have, more ability to do that. So this is really awesome. A lot more options with this Alpha series.
That's really the key thing that you hit right there, is that as a base gun for $255 or $275, you're getting a solid platform, full metal body with a MOSFET, rotary hop-up, etc. But if you're going to be upgrading a gun, a lot of you guys will change the spring and motor out right away if you're going to be doing upgrades, because these are things that are relatively easy to do without getting into the entire gearbox, especially with our modular spring guide that comes out without taking the entire gearbox apart. So we've left this gun as a solid platform with all of the fortified drivetrain components that you get in the higher end AEGs. Oh.
Yeah, that is nice that you can take out the spring guide without having to crack open the entire gearbox. That's a nice feature to have. I mean, it's not like a quick change spring system, but it's a lot faster than having to take the entire gearbox apart.
We call it an easy maintenance spring guide because if you guys recall, for some of you techs that work on some of the older AEGs, with the spring tension on the gearbox, once you open up the gearbox shell, sometimes things fly everywhere. So take the spring out, relieve the tension before you open the gearbox, and it makes maintenance a lot easier.
Touche. So really well played from you guys at Krytac for the Alpha series. I mean, you guys do great guns in the mid to high end market. So it's great to see something, the price has dropped a little bit. Yeah. Now, is there anything else? I mean, I actually want to get and talk about your LVOA before we fully into Starcraft, because we just came out with the tactical gear that's featuring the LVOA. What?
Do you still have the LVOA right here?
No, not right here. But what other products do you guys have lined up to come out soon?
Well, the key thing that's available now, the LVOA released, relatively recently. These Alpha Series guns are going to be out by the end of May, and then shortly following that, by the end of June, we're looking at the Mark II Series AEGs. So what's happening, if you can kind of envision with our product line, we have our current Trident series. Essentially, we're making them more affordable and tuning them to about 1 joule, which is what the Alpha Series is. And then the other models, like the SPR, the CRB, and the PDW, they're getting an increase in the looks and a couple of other additional things that we're going to be adding on to it, such as the rail sections, which is something that a lot of people were kind of lamenting when we first released the Triton series. So you're going to be getting a lot more stuff with the gun, as well as having a billet-like looking receiver.
Nice. Yeah,
and so well, let's worry about the Mark II series. I'll be back online with the live show when that thing is ready to release. The Alphas is really what we're looking at right now for the next couple of weeks.
When are these slated to get released?
The end of May.
The end of May.
Yeah, okay. We should be seeing worldwide delivery throughout the month of May. You know, different regions will be getting them. I know that's another thing that I want to address with some of our customers outside of the United States. Usually stuff releases here and then they have to wait a little while. This time it's all going to be coming out by May. By the end of May, it should be available worldwide.
Nice. Now we should be having pre-orders for the Alpha Series on airsoftgi.com very soon. But without further ado, I would like to show you guys a quick preview of the tactical gearheads of the PMC loadout that Bill put together based off of the Krytac LVOA in Flat Dark Earth, known as the LVOA-C. So really quick, check this out. This is the front end of our tactical gearheads. If you want to see the full video, you can check it out on the rest of our YouTube channel. Here you go.
What's up, GITV? Bantha Bill here, and today I get to do something I haven't done in a while, and I'm really excited to do it. Today is my tactical gearheads for my PMC loadout. Now, the gun I went with for this tactical gearheads is the officially licensed Warsport LVOA by Krytac. Now, the reason I went with this one is because it is such a unique looking M4. And in a world I know all you guys are gonna be like, oh man, another M4. This one's one of the more unique ones I've seen, especially because you do have the wire cutter rail system, which on the real one is designed for you to place against, barbed wire or something like that, and you actually pull the trigger, shoot, and that's how you cut it. But back to the rifle. I also went with this one because I know Krytac's internals are rock solid. I'm not gonna have to open this thing up and do anything to it. I'm gonna be good to go out and play without any issues. And another feature that I personally really like is the rotary style hop-up, because I've had a lot of guns that have your standard style M4 hop-up, but this one with the rotary, it clicks into place and you're not gonna lose your position. It also has numbers on it, so depending on your weight of BB, if you know what number to be at, you can just adjust it on the fly. Now, it doesn't come with these accessories that I put on here. I put these on because I honestly think it makes it look way cooler, like this replica EOTech and then this Bravo green laser light combo PEC 15. And then something
All right, so that's as much as we're going to give you of Bill's tactical gearheads. See some of your comments in the comment section.
Toe loadout.
There's been a lot of things about toes going on in the comment section for the past week. So let's not get into it. In fact, don't say it.
Somebody explain it to me, though.
I really can't.
Okay,
Tim.
never mind then. Is it like that Twitter comment? What's the past tense of a Twitter?
Oh, that's from our old editor Ross. God bless him.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Bill's tactical gearheads. If you guys are looking for the LVOA from Krytac in Flat Dark Earth, we have that exclusively at Airsoft GI. We should be getting those in soon. But get your pre-orders in so you make sure that you've locked yours down.
So you guys have the LVOA on pre-order.
Yeah,
you guys don't have these on pre-order yet?
No, we are going to be getting those on pre-order in the next coming days. I was just talking with Frank about it right before he got here, a little bit late. Tim.
I was not late, Bob. Time is just early.
Are you Chuck Norris or something?
Yes, that's why you ruined my entrance.
Oh my god.
That's why I expected you to be rolling right when I walked in.
I like how Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he does earth downs.
Yeah, he pushes the earth down.
Yeah. Okay, so that being said, for Tim vs. Bob Starcraft, we've got a short preview of Game 1 of Tim vs. Bob Starcraft here today. If you guys want to see the full videos, they're going to be released on my personal channel in either tonight or tomorrow morning. You can check it out on Bob Hildebrand on YouTube. Just search Bob Hildebrand, Hilde brand.
I really should have had those up ahead of time.
I tried to. Believe me, I was working hand over foot. I was working really hard to try and get them set up, but I did not anticipate having my literally. I thought my Blizzard account was terminated.
who would want that account?
I don't. But when I contact Blizzard support, they're like, okay. It looks like you're my last call of the day, and it looks like they have access to your account and they have yet to purchase something, but it looks like they're about to. Ooh. So let me just stop them from doing that. I was like, wait, please tell me I don't have to rebuy all of the StarCraft and expansions. So like, no, you're good. Do you care about Hearthstone? I was like, no, I don't give a crap about Hearthstone. so just give me my StarCraft, give me my Heroes of the Storm. Just
what's Hearthstone?
Hearthstone is like it's like a card game that Blizzard came out with.
Okay.
You can play it on your phone, you can play it on your
computer. You have to buy that one?
No, Hearthstone's free, so is Heroes of the Storm. Okay. But both of them, they have components where you can pay into them to get more product. Okay. Gotcha. But without further ado, let's check out Tim vs. Bob StarCraft gameplay.
Are we going to be able to comment over this?
We're not going to be able to comment over it. So this is actually going to be our previous commenting over it.
So we already did this.
Yeah, we already did this. And we have Gene as well, who's a personal friend of ours, commenting over it.
It takes forever.
Well, you're a whore.
This is 2016, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, so that's obviously Tim's base, and as you can see, I'm over here in the other complex. Obviously it's Terran.
Where is this? I can't see. Oh, there's the map.
Yeah, I'm in the upper left-hand corner. You're in the lower right. We both have a base that has 2 entrances, so definitely a little tough to wall off.
There we go. Throw that pylon down.
Oh man, need more pylons. Yeah, and here's me, just initial.
Walling off. Typical Terran.
Well, the thing is, like, I want to get like supply depots at both of my entrances, so I can at least know when you're like attacking.
No, okay, I think. Yeah, because for a specific reason, because there's 2 giant ramps, and it'd be really hard for a single player to wall off.
Okay, so you did that because you knew I would try that.
Yeah, because it's been a tactic you've used in the past.
Oh god. Oh man. So what are you building right here? You're building a gateway. That makes sense. And I'm of course building a barracks right now. I actually learned a lot from Frank, who works at Airsoft GI currently.
Frank plays StarCraft?
Yeah, Frank's
pretty good.
Frank, yeah, he's really good. He actually gave me a couple dirty tricks to use on Vince, which is actually the tactics he gave me were the only reasons I beat Vince. Because Vince and I are somewhat at the same level, which is crappy. We're both pretty crappy.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, second gate going down.
Ooh, look at you. 2 pylons, 2 gateways. Let's see me. All right, 2 barracks. Almost done with the first one. 2 supply depots.
Yeah, just about the same.
Yeah, pretty much even. Super exciting right now. Super exciting. Yeah. Oh, you got too many workers on your damn Vespine down there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out, Bob. I've never played the game before, remember?
Yeah, which, I mean, I'll admit, it is kind of embarrassing that, like, you have a chance at beating me even though, like, I played this game quite a bit. I mean, I've mostly been playing the co-op missions, which are an astounding amount of fun. But they're not at all like a multiplayer game. You have a lot of units you can't use in multiplayer that are actually from the single-player game. So it's actually really fun. So I was not going to point that out, but thank you for that, Tim. Yes, I've got an idle SCV right there.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, there he goes. So my plan was to try and at least like get a couple barracks going, pump out Marines and also Marauders as quickly as I could because I knew I was going to need the Marauders against Protoss. And here you have 1 Zealot so far. And Gene, feel free to interject wherever you can on because you were biting your nails the whole time, not telling Tim anything, like on base building or basically any other.
Well, yeah, because Tim didn't know a tech tree at this point. It's basically every other StarCraft game. You put the barracks down, build zealots, and you have a cycle.
Yeah.
And from this point forward, it's pretty different from the original Blue War StarCraft game. So, Tim just figured it out. So I was sitting there, wanting to tell Tim what he needs to build next, but the agreement was I don't know.
The other thing was too, Gene. I was watching Gene play after this game, and Gene's base is very organized.
And yours, he told me yours was not. He was like you're just throwing shit everywhere.
Yeah, so you see all the spacing in between. I'm just wherever I can find whatever the blue shit where you can build stuff.
Yeah, the powerful.
Yeah, whatever it's called, and then I just put it down. And after watching Gene play, I think I have a better idea of how to
dispersion
make
and all
more
that.
space useful.
Well, see, here you can see even though I couldn't wall this off, I at least put 1 supply depot down so I could see if you were coming in. Just some sort of heads up. And my initial attempt.
Look at we're scouting at the same time.
Oh wow! I never noticed that. We went on opposite sides of that.
That thingy with an
yeah.
eye.
What is that? Zelnaga Tower.
The game. You tell me.
I can't remember. All right, so here you're scouting me. I remember your probe coming in because I tended to destroy it. I didn't want you to know everything I had, but.
And plus, Tim has used Cannon Rush on you before.
Yes, you have. And I want to make a note that only dicks do that. And Tim, you
Sometimes
qualify.
it wins, man.
Sometimes it wins. I can't deny that. And here's my initial force. You definitely got about 8 Marines, 2 Marauders, and you've got was that 7? What is that?
Those are adepts.
What are adepts?
Yeah, it's a new...
They throw things.
Oh, I wasn't familiar with those. I was wondering why they look fancy.
I don't.
All right, guys, so that is just the beginning of Tim vs. Bob StarCraft Game 1. If you want to see the rest of it, you can check it out on my channel. But Tim and I will be playing more.
You need to post the second game. That's the important one, because that's the one where I win.
Well, you're ruining the experience, yeah. No, so we have a tiebreaker coming up. We ran out of time for the third game, so Tim and I will have the deciding game hopefully next week.
You want to tell them why we ran out of time, Bob? Tell them why. Tell them why. Because I destroyed your base and you were just floating around.
Okay, now I was hoping that there was like even a small chance, a small fart in hell that I would have a chance of winning. Like, because I thought you were low on minerals. I don't want to ruin it for everything, but yeah, I definitely dragged that game on a bit too long.
A little longer,
yeah. So we will have a deciding game hopefully next week. But yeah, no, it's always fun when I get to play video games against friends. I think it's like not as fun when you're playing against AI. It's not as stressful or doesn't get your heart pumping as much. So
I don't know. I don't play.
Oh, jeez, Tim. Well, for me, like, I relate to, like, the first time I did sort of a shooting competition, this is just for Airsoft, like, it got my heart beating, like, really fast. Like, I was really excited and want to compete. And so when I play against, you or friends I know, like, on video games, it gets that similar rush where, like, I really want to win. Sort of like the Tim vs. Bob games. Like, I'm not really competitive, but you really bring out that competitive streak in me.
Yeah, it's a good thing I won the last game.
That's not true at all.
I did win the last game.
Well, you won Tim vs. Bob
the
5.
Last game we played.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
And I won the last Starcraft game we played.
That is
also true.
God damn it, Tim. All right.
Do you have a holster for your XD?
I do have a holster for my XD. It is a G-code holster.
How many mags do you have?
I have 3.
That should be enough. We should go shooting in 3 weeks. There's Steel Challenge up at Pyru that I'm considering attending.
I don't think
gonna go to.
I don't think my XD is a good competition pistol.
Neither is the Sphinx, but
yeah. Well, are you kidding?
Well,
yes,
I have the compact
That
version.
is one of the best competition pistols.
I have the compact version, which is not ideal for competition. I would like to have a longer slide version.
Handmade. Isn't it handmade?
Yes, it's very well.
Oh, yes. It's
but
not necessarily competition.
It's not
pistol.
ideal because of the short sight radius. But who cares? I mean, if I go and you go and Gene goes and we get other guys to go, it'll just be a fun time.
Okay. All right. People are begging us to answer questions.
Okay, let's do that.
What gun cases do you normally use when flying to Milsim games? That's from the Airsofting Ginger. Nice name. It's interesting because I actually don't generally fly with my airsoft guns. What I usually end up doing, and what we did when you were still here, is that we would ship our guns to the hotel we were staying at, which always worked out well for us. We never had any issues.
I would say that if you don't fly a lot, it's probably cheaper to ship your guns back and forth. If you have a frequent flyer account or some special thing where you get free baggage, then it might be cheaper to fly with it. Because that's another thing to consider, is that you're only allowed a certain number of bags when you go on a plane. So you can have a checked bag, which may or may not be free your first time. And then the more bags you add on to that, or gun cases in this case, the more they're going to charge you for it. So it'll depend on really what the best way to get to your game is. If you can drive, probably that's the easiest and cheapest way to go.
Yeah.
But if you have to fly and you don't have like a frequent flyer program or anything like that, then you may want to think about shipping the guns back and forth. Because one thing, you don't have to go through the security. It's kind of a pain in the butt to ship guns back and forth, or to fly with guns. But yeah, it also might save you just a little bit of time at the airport.
I mean, there obviously are ways to be able to, travel with your airsoft guns, and you can find out a lot of that.
It's possible. I mean, you just have to treat it like a real gun. So you have to declare it when you go to the thing, and then they send you to TSA and they swap it down and all that other crap. So if you don't want to deal with that, then just ship it, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, but I want to tell them at least how they can find out. You can generally go on TSA's website and find out any information on traveling with essentially firearms. And if, memory serves me correctly, essentially you have to have a case that can be locked in multiple different locations. It has to be like a hard carry case. Like you said, you have to declare it. So for full information, make sure to check out TSA's website. Especially you want to do that way ahead of time before you get to the airport. You don't want to have to learn that last minute when you're trying to board your plane, because it is going to take extra time.
Yeah, it takes a little extra time.
Yeah. So, and let's see if we have any questions. What gun is the gun on the left?
Sparta. Sorry, Sparta Airsoft.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for a good submachine gun.
Do you want to tell them what gun the gun on the left is?
Well, this isn't a submachine gun, but this is the Krytac Alpha SDP, which is a good small gun that will fill probably the role that you need it to fill. But if you really want a submachine gun, the Vector AEG is slated to be released later on this year. So if you're not in a hurry, I think you should probably wait for that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, someone's asking if Krytac would ever get into AKs.
Yes.
Is this the bathroom?
Oh,
the
Jesus,
bathroom
Jonathan.
is that way.
Okay,
yeah.
thanks.
Jonathan from Airsoft Algae. Okay.
It's only fair. I crashed his party.
Yeah, fair play. Will Krytac ever get into AKs?
Like AKs in the sense, yes, we will.
Okay, you're really trying to think of some snarky comments.
No, because we announced the SR47, essentially the M4 AK thing, and that's still slated to be released. And we also do want to do a line of full AKs. Just a couple of other projects we have up our sleeve in addition to the Vector, so we'll just have to play it and see what the market wants to do, and then we'll go from there.
All right, next up. I have a question. Will Krytac ever make a gas blowback rifle or pistol? Also, Bob, can you dab for us? I think this is how you dab. I think. Anyone know? Yeah, or Jonathan's giving me the high sign. All right, so will Krytac ever make a gas blowback rifle or pistol?
No.
All right, you really said that very seriously into the camera. Okay. Oh, man. All right, let's see here if we have...
I suppose anything's possible in the future, but right now, no, there's no plans.
All right. What is your opinion on Alice-style web gear?
Alice-style web gear. Is that the stuff with the hard clip inserts?
If I remember correctly, I wish John had left, but yeah, I believe Alice-style web gear is the stuff with the hard clip inserts. It's basically a precursor to a lot of the Molly stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any personal experience with that, so I can't really comment.
I have had quite a bit of personal experience. I have a couple sets of gear set up like those back when I started Airsoft. You know, it worked. It was functional. I mean, the clips were kind of annoying sometimes because I bought the ones from the Army surplus, and usually they're bent or a little rusted or whatnot. It worked for the time being. It wasn't the most comfortable gear. It wasn't the most quick to access like a lot of, the high-speed loadouts you see today. I mean, Molly gear you can configure in an indeterminate number of ways. So, yeah, I mean, it works, and if you like that kind of older style look, or if, I guess you want to do a guerrilla loadout or any number of different loadouts, then that can be a really good setup. I know a lot of people still use it today because that's their preferred loadout.
Alice gear?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of folks do like Vietnam impression kits or just like old school stuff.
I'm still waiting for that Gears of War type of rig where it just kind of sticks to you, like magnets.
That would be nice. I actually saw a guy remember we did Tim vs. Bob Storm in the Midwest?
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy who had a sling set up to where he could just literally put his gun on his back.
Was that a Tim vs. Bob game? I didn't think.
No, it was just it was just Tim and Bob Storm in the Midwest. It wasn't a TVB game.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So I would think like if you had the Gears of War set up, I mean, it'd have to be a special plate attached to your gun that is only magnetized to that, because if one certain part of your gear was magnetized always and you just walk by a metal wall.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's gonna like stick you to the wall.
Well, if it's strong enough to hold a gun, I mean, you kind of have to be.
Probably. I remember Gene one time took the motors out of a Systema Magnum motor, and they have pretty strong neodymium magnets, and they fit into the molly of a molly rig, and he just threw magazines onto it, so it would hold his mags.
Oh, really?
He would have to hold his guns, but yeah, his mags would just drop free and attach.
Oh, that's kind of
immediately. But Systema Magnum motors are a little expensive motors to disassemble all the time.
A little bit.
$100 each. At least they were back in the day. But I always thought that would have been cool to outfit a molly rig or just any rig with like integrated magnets. Then you don't need pouches. This is like the best system.
That's one way. Hey, Bob, joined the Marines this fall. Awesome, and congratulations. Will you guys be doing a game in Wisconsin? I can't talk about any games we haven't made public yet. However, we are looking in that region for a BB Wars game. So I can't say definitively yes or no, but I can say that we're heartily looking in that area.
Maybe you can storm the Midwest again, Bob.
Perhaps. Have you talked to the Pankratses? Those are the gentlemen that originally contacted us to get out to the Midwest.
I haven't talked to them recently, but I follow them on social media.
Same here.
And they seem to be doing well.
Yeah, I see a lot of biking stuff.
I see a lot of mountain biking, yeah. Which sounds like a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun. I've actually met a lot of mountain bikers that get into Airsoft.
Okay.
Well, it's just weird. Like, this one guy showed me this video of him, like, mountain biking on this small path on top of this giant cliff. And I was like, I was like, why'd you do that? He's like, well, I got an Airsoft because like I broke my leg in 3 places doing this, and I wanted the same rush without like as nearly the medical complications. I was like, oh, okay.
My cousin does downhill racing mountain biking, which I don't know how similar it is to what that guy does.
It's similar, actually,
but
yeah.
He wiped out like really hardcore a couple years ago and bit his tongue off. Bam.
I can empathize with that.
That really
Did he
sucked.
bite it off, or
like the front part of it?
Was it sewn back on, or?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they ever found a piece.
Because I bit almost all the way through mine, but I didn't bite it off.
Yeah, I think it was off. It was gone.
That stinks.
Yeah.
You can grow taste buds back. I didn't think you could, but you can.
No.
So, that sucks. Burn. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Tim, what is your favorite color?
I don't know, man. I like different colors for different things. I like for candy and stuff, I generally like things that are red, like cherry flavored or something like that. So that stuff I like red. My car currently is blue, and so I kind of like blue for cars, but I liked my red car when I had my red car. I also have a white car, so white's nice, but white's too generic.
Yeah.
So, and I think my next car might be yellow. Maybe. So
really?
I like yellow a little
Was that
bit.
the color you were talking about last time? You were talking about getting, was it an M5 or M2 or whatever the M whatever?
I was looking at a Boxster, a Porsche Boxster. I think that might be my next car. Maybe. We'll see.
I feel like I know who the person who's influencing you to get a Porsche is.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like, Tim, why are you screwing around with these BMWs?
It's tough to
get
break
a
the
Porsche.
BMW streak, though. 'Cause I don't want to, combo breaker.
All right, from Milsim Twist, Krytac gearboxes, will they ever be fully TM spec?
Will they ever be fully TM spec? Well, we used a blueprinted TM gearbox to design it, so I think the better question is, when will people start making TM spec parts?
Krytac box mags, Bob? Question mark? Some Sparta Airsoft? I don't really know.
Sparta.
I don't really know what he's asking.
We have a box mag for the LMG.
Yeah, I mean, that'll fit in M4s, so.
Yeah.
So,
already exists. Acura NSX. Ooh, I like that car a lot, actually. The NSX.
Oh, the NSX.
Steve L. Yeah. In fact, there are only a handful of Japanese cars that I think I would ever own, and the NSX is one of them.
In the same vein, is there any way to fit a 9.6 volt in the Vector AEG?
9.6 in the Vector AEG. That is probably going to be a very tight fit. Okay, there's not a lot of battery space on that gun. There's not much I can tell you about that gun because it's still in development, but the battery space is kind of tight, and you're best probably going off with an 11.1 light poly.
Okay, not a lot, a couple Krytac questions. Let's see. For Tim, can you get new screws on the Krytac gearboxes? They strip, and please give me a shout out. I have gameplay from VA. Yo-Yo Airsoft, your shout out is approved. So he's basically asking for you to put new screws in the gearbox. Can you do that right now?
I cannot put screws in his gearbox. No. Trying to think. We don't have like that parts kit for sale, but maybe what we can do is offer something like that through our website. And if you're using the right tools, you should not strip the screws on the gearbox. In fact, if you're using the right tool for the right job, you shouldn't be damaging anything. So just a word of advice for anybody that wants to work on anything in general, cars, guns, whatever, use the right tool. Don't use your screwdriver as a hammer, for example. Or don't use too big of a don't use too big of a driver on a small screw head, because that's how you strip things, and the other way around.
All right, that is a question for me. Bob, do you like the KWA MP7? Yes, I do. I own one, and I like the hell out of it. It's awesome. I always have a dilemma between, like, am I going to use the KMP9 or am I going to use the MP7?
You have both?
Yeah.
Is there an MP8?
No. Get out of here. Anyway, I prefer the KMP9. That's my go-to gun. However, every now and again, I do like using the MP7. I think it has a bit more of an aggressive look. I just like the weight displacement. I don't know if that's the right word. Distribution. The weight distribution on the MP9 a lot better. It's more centered around the pistol grip, so it's easier to use one-handed. All right. Let's see.
When's the last time you played Airsoft?
The last time I played Airsoft was actually at, it was actually very recently. It was at BB Wars Episode 5 Water Wars at Rockahula Water Park.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't go to that one.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Was that before or after we met up with Matt and played Tech City Pistol?
That was after.
Oh, okay.
I think.
That was the last time I played.
Yeah. I was surprised because we got, that's like 2 times in a year that you've played Airsoft, which is rare. It's very rare just to get one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not only that, but you played at a full weekend game up in Fresno.
Oh, that's right. I already forgot about that one. Dave Bax's game.
Yeah, that's right.
Too.
God bless Dave Bax.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah, I heard your stories how you almost ruined the entire op for
all
of your friends.
I almost screwed it for everybody.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and it ended up being epic.
It's just funny. I love those moments where, like, when someone on the enemy team, like, it's a real, like, butt clincher moment where, like, man, it looks like people over there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I've had this scenario. The very first time I played Airsoft outdoors was at actually Operation New Horizon in like 2008 or something like that, several years ago. And I wasn't really accustomed to seeing people hiding out in the woods. And so sometimes I'd be walking, strolling, and then I'd get hit, and I'd be like, oh, crap, what the heck? And then I see, like, oh, man, I really should have been looking in that direction. And then other times I'd be looking and I see a figure of what looks like a person prone laying down, and I sit there waiting for it for like 5 minutes and it doesn't move, and then I realize it was just a tree stump.
Oh, wow. That does happen to the best of us.
Yeah.
Or Tim. Now, let's see. We actually had a few more questions. Let's see if I can find some that are relevant. Someone was asking, do you like extended mags, and how about the KWA Mac 11? I think this question was for me.
I like extended mags. Anytime you can hold more ammo, I think that's better than holding less.
I personally actually don't like extended mags as much because I think it ruins the look on some guns. Like the Elite Force 1911 with the extended mag, I just think it looks stupid. However,
it's functional.
It is really nice to have those extra rounds. So,
and if you're talking about a gas gun too, it holds more gas, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't think the Elite Force 1911 does because it's just
a CO2 gun.
Yeah, it's a 12-gun CO2 cartridge. Again, Bob, do you recommend the KWA MP7? I'm thinking about buying it. Yes, I do recommend the KWA MP7. I thought that was apparent when I talked about it earlier, but yeah,
maybe he just joined us, Bob.
No, he's been here for a little while. Yes, it's a great gun.
Maybe it's a her.
His name is Marcus.
Marcus.
God damn it, Tim. Yes, it's a great gun. Aesthetically, I prefer the MP7 or the KMP9, but the MP7 functions well. It looks cool. I believe it's also currently, or it was recently used by Navy SEALs overseas. So that's another cool factor of that gun in particular. Okay, Tim, what's your favorite brand of airsoft gun?
Let me think about that one for a second. Krytac.
Good work. Okay. And Morgan McComb, your shout out is approved. All right.
Why do you do that?
I did it once, and I just kind of kept it like that from now on.
Can you do a new one? Like starting in now?
All right, your shout out is approved.
No, why don't you just do like shout out like that?
Because it blows out the microphone, Tim.
Well, that's what people want to hear. God. They want to hear you shout at them.
Okay, Tim. Also, someone asked about the...
I'm still looking for the bathroom.
Oh,
just hold it, Jonathan. Seriously.
Look, I mean, it's like this close, man. It's
just
gonna
hold
get bad.
it. Just pop a squat right here.
Just grab the plastic bag and just dump it.
I'll keep looking.
All right, so someone also asked about the KWA M11. I actually own the version 1 of those, or I think the NS1. I can't get replacement parts for it anymore because it's so old. However, I loved that gun. The rate of fire was incredible, and for such a short barrel, it's actually surprisingly accurate in a CQB setting. So I'd highly suggest if you can get your hands on any of the more recent ones to do that. Let's see.
Comments below.
Yeah, we're actually running to the end of our live show.
Really?
Yeah, it's 5:12. Bob,
it ends at 5:15 now.
What's that? Okay. Sorry, the question is going by fast. For Tim, would a stealth mission work in Airsoft?
Not for me. I'm not very stealthy.
Well, but
I almost blew it.
But you completed one of the more epic stealth missions in the Tim vs. Bob series.
That's true.
Yeah.
That one was actually pretty hair-raising.
Yeah, especially for that one rebel trooper that saw you that didn't tell anybody.
Well, no, the kind of pucker moment that I had was actually after I had already completed and I escaped through the helicopter. Me, Chris Ratt, and Aaron Rose, and I wish I could remember my guide's name that was there, because we walked through the whole field together. But we were like, okay, we're gonna change clothes, and you guys can storm the rebels from behind and see how many guys you can kill. And so we switched up my gear a little bit, and we kind of snuck around behind lines. And as soon as I brought my gun up to fire, I shot one round, and my battery died.
So the entire time you snuck around?
The entire time I snuck around the field, I did not have any juice in my gun. So had we got into a firefight,
done.
It would have been game over.
It's funny because, like, after you exit the field, complete your stealth mission, and then change clothes and got back on, I saw you immediately. Mm-hmm. And it was just because you had this one patch on that I never see anybody else wear. I think it has, like, a spade on it, like Ace of Spades.
Oh, that tag gear patch?
Bingo. Yeah. So I saw you walk by in just a jacket and gear that I've never seen you wear. I was like, that's Tim. Everybody go get him right now. But, yeah, you
had already completed it.
Yeah, you had already completed it.
Yeah.
Bob and Tim, are you Team Captain America or Team Iron Man? I think it's from the new Civil War movie.
I haven't seen them.
Neither have I. So it hasn't. I don't know if it's even. Has it come out yet, Jonathan? I don't think so.
Don't think so?
Yeah. So we'll know more after we see it.
I hate picking sides, though. Why can't we just all get along? Captain America can't get along with Iron Man? Seriously?
Well, there's got to be something else going on there. I thought I saw.
You know, a series is going downhill when the characters start dating each other or fighting each other. You know, that's how Friends went downhill. You know, so this is probably the end of Marvel.
I would say Friends actually. I mean, it got like a lot more people watched like the later seasons.
Yeah, but that's how you know the end was imminent.
Well, but also like
they can't come up with anything new. So
Tim,
start fighting.
These comic books were written ages ago. Like they're just going off of like older material and making movies out of them. Like the Infinity War is supposed to happen like a couple.
For Infinity?
Well, no, it's like basically the entire galaxy, including Guardians of the Galaxy, are going to merge with all the other Marvel characters in the Infinity War, which is supposed to decide the fate of the galaxy.
That's heavy.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
Wait, when does it end? Are they still being written?
I mean, more comics are being written, yeah, but I think they're going over like the kind of epochal moments. Which is what is on their schedule. Like they have Infinity War Part 1 is scheduled to come out in like I think like 2018, 2019. Infinity War Part 2
it's there. It's 2016.
It's probably 2020. So. All right, so let me see if there are any more questions. I see there's a few that we've already answered. Let's see. All right. Wow, the question's going by fast.
Why don't you pause it? Can you pause it?
Sort of.
There you go. Boom.
All right.
Go to MSW, Bob.
I have been to one MSW.
Estimated price tag on the Chris Vector.
That was what I wanted to cover. All right,
no idea.
This is from Kuro Kuma. Estimated price tag on the Chris Vector.
To be determined.
What does that mean?
TBD.
TBD. All right, excellent work. All right, well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for our live show, for staying through to the bitter end. Excellent work, Jonathan.
We made it.
If you guys want to see the full videos on Tim vs. Bob Starcraft Game 1 and 2, you can check out my channel, Bob Hildebrand, on YouTube.
Wait, are we going to stream the third one? The tiebreaker?
I want to figure out how to do it, because I don't know if my computer can handle streaming straight to the internet. Maybe Jeans could. I'm not sure. I mean, Jonathan, you might know more about that.
Hurry up, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so check out my channel to see some of those videos sometime soon, and hopefully we can stream on Twitch or at least put out the tie-breaking game sometime next week or something.
Yes,
so
I want people to see your demise as it's happening.
Also, make sure to check out checkairsoftjam.com for the upcoming release of the pre-orders for the Krytac Alpha Series on our website. Again, a really great deal, $50 more affordable than the original Trident Series CRB and the SDP. So check them out. They're going to be going up soon. And once again, Tim, thanks for joining us on the show. Jonathan from Airsoftology, check out Airsoftology on YouTube as well. We'll find you a bathroom real soon.
Thank you.